You know, we always talk about strength in these big, loud ways. The epic wins, the person who seems totally unbreakable. But what about the other kind, the quieter kind? That's what we're going to get into today. The incredible, often invisible courage it takes just to get up and try again.
So let's just start with this question. Just think about it for a second. What if after all of it, all the setbacks, all the heartbreaks, your greatest strength isn't some trophy on a shelf, but the simple, undeniable fact that you're still here, still showing up?
To really understand that quiet kind of courage, we first have to be really honest about the other side of the coin, the sheer weight of failure. This isn't just about one bad day. It's that deep, soul-level exhaustion that comes from pouring everything you have into something and watching it crumble.
And let's be real, trying again is so hard. Honestly, it's way, way harder than quitting. Quitting can feel like relief. It can feel like the smartest thing to do. But to keep going when every past experience is screaming at you to stop, well, that takes something else entirely, because you haven't forgotten how much it hurts to fall.
Every time you fail, it leaves a mark, right? It kind of bruises your confidence.
The futures you planned out so carefully, they just break apart.
You keep knocking and knocking, hoping for a break. But some of those doors, they just don't open.
And after all of that, after so much pushing and hoping, your heart just gets tired.
And this feeling, this specific state, it actually has a name. Let's call it deep tired. This has nothing to do with needing more sleep. This is that quiet, heavy exhaustion in your chest when you're almost past the point of crying. It's a kind of stillness that comes from just too much disappointment. I think a lot of us know exactly what that feels like.
Okay, so if that's the weight we're all carrying around, where on earth does the strength come from? Well, this is where we have to totally redefine what we mean by strength. We're not talking about being invincible. We're talking about a quiet kind of courage.
I think this chart really says it all. We all recognize loud courage, right? It's the one that gets the awards, that beats its chest, that boasts about never being broken. But look over at quiet courage. It doesn't need an audience. Its whole victory is just trying again. It's about standing up while you're still cracked. It's not about being immune to pain. It's about refusing to let the pain win.
And this quote, wow, it gets right to the heart of it. Real strength has zero to do with pretending you're okay. It's the complete opposite. It's about being honest enough to say, yeah, I'm kind of broken, I've got these cracks, and then choosing to stand up anyway. That's a power that faking it can never, ever give you.
So what about all those cracks and scars? What if they aren't just signs of damage? What if they're actually sources of wisdom? This is where we can start to look at our past a little differently, not as a highlight reel of our failures, but as the very ground where our resilience was built.
Just think about what those tough times really taught you. You'll learn some hard truths for sure, that putting in the effort doesn't guarantee the reward, that life works on its own schedule, not yours, that sometimes people leave. Oof. But then, look at that last line. Because the biggest lesson, the one we so often forget, is that you got through it. You survived. Seriously, let that one sink in for a second. You have already survived things you were absolutely certain would break you. But they didn't. You're here. You're listening to this right now. That is all the proof you will ever need that you have a deep well of resilience inside you, even on the days you can't feel it at all.
So, what do we do with this resilience? How do we move forward? Well, it's not about trying to get back to that same, maybe a little naive, wild energy you had before. It's about trying again, but differently. It's about trading that wild energy for a quiet wisdom.
This new path is so much smarter because it's guided by everything you've learned the hard way. It's having the wisdom to finally let go of what's not working. It's having the self-respect to put up boundaries to protect your energy. It's the patience to slow down and move with intention instead of desperation. It's not about giant leaps anymore. It's just about quietly doing the next right thing. And this right here is such a crucial shift in how we see things. We're all taught that trying means hustling, pushing, doing something. But sometimes the bravest, most courageous form of trying is to be patient, to rest without giving up, to actually trust that things will unfold instead of trying to force them.
And what this all leads to, really, is hope. But it's a different kind of hope now, isn't it? It's not a blind fairy tale hope. It's a conscious, deliberate choice to believe that your story isn't over yet, even when you have absolutely no guarantees about how the next chapter will read.
In this light, hope isn't weak or silly. It's a rebellion.
It's you looking at all the evidence from your past that tells you to give up and be cynical, and quietly saying, no, I refuse to let disappointment write my ending. It is a powerful, defiant act against despair.
This is the core belief that fuels that defiant hope. All the pain, all the failures, yeah, they're part of your story, but they do not own your tomorrow. Your future is not legally bound to be a repeat of your past. It's still a blank page.
So, after all of this, what's the big takeaway? What's the one thing to focus on? It's actually really simple, and it's gentle. Just be someone who still tries.
And this just takes all the pressure off. You don't have to try perfectly. You don't have to have a 10-step plan. You just have to try honestly. Just show up with your tired heart, your hard-won wisdom, and be willing to give it one more go.
And that simple, honest effort, that quiet courage to stand up even with all your cracks and just face another day, believe me, that is more than enough. In fact, that is everything.